And I'm good. Awesome. Good evening. Today is Monday. Oh my god. My days are all just kind of like meshing together. It is Monday. Today is quilting day. Oh, let me change my title. I keep forgetting to do that. Title is Quilting Day. Great. Okay, so it's quilting day. Fantastic. So I spent the afternoon pinning the Hyrulean Shield quilt, the Final Fantasy quilt, and the t-shirt quilt that I got done yesterday. My goal for today is I want to get at least the Final Fantasy and the Hyrulean Shield quilted. May not get to the t-shirt quilt tonight because it's not a huge priority for me because the Hyrulean Shield and the Final Fantasy, I want to get done before C2E2 so I can get them in the mail if they want to get them in the mail, if they want them. Well, the Hyrulean Shield, I'm actually going to see Laura at C2E2, so I'm going to give it to her physically there. So I want to get those done because those are commissions that are due now. So get them finished and off my plate. Speaking of which, I've got the Hyrulean Shield behind me, but I didn't get the Final Fantasy one. So let me grab that from my little bag over here. And you may notice my setup a little different today. Got my computer back here, and you see I've got a camera here. I'm still on the one camera system. We never got a chance to play with my husband's computer. So I'm still on just the one camera system. So what I'm going to do is between quilting the quilts, when I'm just sitting there undoing the pins and chatting with you, I'll switch back to this view. But while I'm doing the actual quilting, I'm going to have this camera. Now you see how close this camera, I'll put that down. You see how close this camera is to me? So it's going to be super easy for me to bump it, so I apologize ahead of time. I am sorry if I bump the camera and give you a little vertigo. So unfortunately, it may not be able to be helped. So I'm going to start with the Final Fantasy quilt. I've sent a message to Laura, who is the Hyrulean Shield quilt. She's supposed to get back to me with what thread she wants. I have heard from the gentleman that commissioned this quilt, and we're going to go with silver thread. So I've got thread ready, and so I'm going to go ahead and just do this one first, and then hopefully I will hear back from Laura by then, and I can do the Hyrulean Shield. Alright, so whenever you are quilting, a couple of things. So basics of quilting. You want to make sure that your table that you're quilting at is at a 90-degree angle. So you see how I've got my chair and my quilting table here. This quilting desk table actually has a drop-in. So I could put my machine in here and actually just go right on the actual desk. So it actually will sit within here, so it'll drop down. But the problem with that is it's a little bit too low for me because I'm short. So I actually like it this way. One of these days I may try it that way, but for now I like it this way, and this is the way that I quilt. So you have to make sure that 90-degree angle. So make sure that everything is nice when you're quilting. Don't hunch over, sit straight up. And fantastic. I've got a couple of my Alliance members that are hosting me. Thank you very much. So don't forget, if you're watching this on YouTube, check out my Alliance members that you see popping up hosting me. They are fantastic. They're sewers, and they're good. So sit straight up. So correct posture, arms at a 90-degree angle. Don't hunch, and as you go, make sure you continue to sit up straight. That is super important. I pre-wind all my bobbins, so I don't have to worry about winding things in the middle of my quilting. I like to continue as I go. And that's about it. That's all the pre-stuff. So I'm going to get this set up, get the quilt all set up and ready to go. I've got my iPad there. I may or may not move it. I love this quilting desk. It is so big and roomy. This will be the first queen-size quilt that I have quilted on my new desk. So it's the first queen size quilt that I have made since January. So we'll see how this goes. If I knock my iPad off, I may have to switch it. So not sure yet. So I'm going to switch the camera angle so that you can see what's going on the actual machine itself. So I've got that. Let's turn camera off. Camera went off. Yes. And then we're going to turn camera 2 on. Fantastic. Okay. So, all right, camera 2 is working. I should just go like this when I'm talking to you now. All right, so the quilting itself. So whenever I do quilting, I do a little bit different start than most people. The most well-known approved method of quilting is starting from the middle and working your way out. That's one of the reasons why I meander. I kind of move all over because I just like starting at the top and working my way through. I'm weird and different. I know I don't follow what you're supposed to do with quilting. So I like to make sure that the edges are locked in. And the reason is not like anything that is normal quilting. I have a problem when I'm quilting of this backing fabric catching and folding underneath and then me sewing on it like that. That's not a good thing. And I don't know why I have that problem. I'm doing something that's causing that. So because of that, I start out all of my quilts by securing down all of the edges. So that does not happen. All right, so let me start by doing, oh, I almost forgot. Oh, I didn't do it so you can see this. Oh, where's my phone? Oh, there it is. Oh, there we go. So Laura responded back. Ooh, she wants the multicolored one. She wants the super colored one. Nice. Okay. I'm just responding back to let her know when I'm going to be doing it. All right, so, oh, maybe I should move it over. No, you can't. So on my, you can't see it, but over here on my screen is all of my options. The first thing I'm going to do is drop my feed dogs. So I want to make sure I have some free motion quilting. So I've dropped my feed dogs. The second thing I'm going to do is my preset quilting. So it's actually, I have it saved under number 2, the second stitch, where I have the tension a little bit higher, and I have the width a little bit less. Although width doesn't make a difference because I've dropped the feed dogs. So now I'm going to make sure I don't have a caught. I also use the edges as a test to see how the tension is. So you see the back tension is fine, and the front tension is fine, so my tension is good. Now I'm going to check it again when I go all the way down. So my feed dogs are down. Most of the time when you see me piecing, you see me let the machine take it, and the machine does most of the work, and all I do is guide it. For quilting, I have to guide everything. The machine is not doing it, it is all me. Okay, let's check. Oh, yep, that tension looks nice. Yep, tension is good. Okay, so I don't have to work on tension. I don't have to worry about tension because I've checked it twice. All right. I've got to make sure, because this is a larger quilt, I have to keep an eye on my bobbin thread. I want to make sure that I don't run out of bobbin thread in the middle of the quilt. So you may see me change it before it needs it. Alright. Now you may notice I'm not being as careful stitching around in the border. because this is all going to get hidden by the binding. I don't have to worry about any of this being shown. Now, the biggest problem of quilting a larger quilt is the bulk of it. This is, oops, sorry, I was moving the pedal and I accidentally kicked the camera. This quilt is bigger, make sure I really nail that one down, is bigger and bulkier than the smaller quilts, so it's a lot harder to quilt. So I'm thinking I may just get through these two. If I have time, I may be able to work on the little quilt. But these two have the priority because I'm leaving Tuesday morning, and the family center is closed Friday, closed Monday, and I'd really like to get in and get a picture of these before they go off. The gloves are grabbing all of the extra stuff in the batting and pulling it out. These gloves are super sticky. One more side after this. Now you notice how, and you may not be able to see it that well from this camera angle, but as I turn the quilt, I turn the entire quilt with the bulk. So everything gets picked up and moved over. So everything is here. I've got it. I don't have to worry about it. Because I don't want it to bulk up and put any kind of strain on the actual sewing machine. Because if there's any kind of weight on the sewing machine, it's going to pull the threads. The thread may break. It may not stitch right. It may have problems. So don't have any kind of weight pulling on it. So as I'm getting closer to another area, I move and adjust the quilt. And notice how I'm care about if it's a straight line or not. It's going to get hidden in the binding. There we go. Okay, so that is all the way around. My bobbin thread still looks good. You can see a little bit of it on the camera. Okay, so let me check. Nope, nothing going on in chat. So I'm going to get started. So shoulders back. I always roll my shoulders just before I start quilting. And there you go. While you're quilting, you always want to have a flow. You don't want to stop in one area, and you want to try to move at the same pace throughout your quilt. So this pace that I'm going at, I want to go at the same exact pace throughout. Because if I speed up, my stitches will be longer. If I slow down, they'll be shorter. Now, I'm going to stop right here because I'm getting to the first set of words. So with this quilt, and I'm going to move it so you can actually see it here, I have two issues. Issue number one is I have faces. If you watch my other quilting one, you know that I try to avoid quilting on actual faces, like this area right here, because it makes them look weird. With words, I try not to quilt through the words. So my plan is I'm just going to meander and go all over. But these words, I'm actually going to try to highlight them a little bit. I'm actually going to try to do like a speech bubble kind of wavy all the way around the words, both here and down here. So I'm going to try to really highlight the wording, and then I'll stay away from the facing. So it's two things that I'm going to be concentrating on as I get to it. And I've reached my first set of words. So I'm just preparing the quilt itself. There we go. There we go. So, because that's the decision that I made for that, I'm going to do this exact thing for every set of words. So whether it's the saying down here or the single word up here, that's what I'm going to do for everything. And then for the rest, I'm just going to meander. I'm just going to wander around at the same pace. And you notice my quilt was starting to turn a little bit, so I need to try to bring it back straight. If I couldn't bring it back straight then, I would have had to stop and readjust it. Okay, so I have another picture. I'm going to take a look at it. All right, so my words are over here, and it looks like Black Mage. So I really want to avoid this area here. So I'm going to quilt along here, come down, and then frame the word. Oh, I broke the thread. It's frustrating when that happens. Okay, so when that happens, first thing I do is I check my bobbin thread just to make sure everything is good. I'm not sure why it broke that time. Maybe because of me stopping and starting. Sometimes that causes it. There we go. And so traditional quilting says I don't have to do anything here except for run it over. So I have two options. I can either just trim this right here, or I can sit and pull it out and do something else. I personally like to make sure that it's really in there and it's really secure. So I actually pull out a bunch of stitches. And again, this is not what most quilters do. Most quilters, if you just run it over with the thread, it's going to lock it in and it'll be fine. I'm a little paranoid about my stitches coming out though. So I pull a bunch out and I actually make a little knot. There we go. Got my little knots. Let me trim that. Throw the extra away, and I am good to go again. So whenever I come down here, so you notice how it ends off right here? So I'm going to start it up here, I'm going to come down through here, and then I'm going to sew this area right here to really lock it in, to make sure that that stitch is locked in, so it's not going to come undone. So, now anything I start right here, I start or end, is not going to be seen because it's going to be under the binding. The biggest thing with quilting, when you do the actual quilting like this, is just to have a plan. Decide what you want the quilt to be for the quilting, and then execute it. There you go. There's sorrow. Okay, now I have the picture frame. The pictures are, there's 9 pictures. There's 3 across and 3 down. So I know that I have 1 more in this row. Oh, and there it is. Okay, so let me stop and take a look at it. Okay, so it looks like, oh, he's all the way, his face is right there. So I just want to avoid this area right here. That's easy enough. You do not want to hit one of those pins. So the safety pins, I've actually hit it a couple of times when I've quilted. Yeah, it makes a nice big mess. And you can't see it because of the camera angle, but the entire time that I'm quilting, I'm concentrating on the actual quilt. I'm not looking away. I'm not looking at the chat. So if I miss something, I apologize. You have to have concentration, not just because of the speed and the design, but you don't want to be sewing over your fingers. Okay, so let me adjust this. So we need to make sure. There we go. So I'm going to, now I went down, now I'm going to come back again. So I'm going to take a look at the bobbin. I think I'm going to change the bobbin. Just to play on the safe side. Because I'd rather not run out midway and have to do what I just did again. Pull out the stitches, make a knot, secure it in. It's easier just to switch the bobbin and use the rest of that bobbin for my piecing later. So now I'm going to come all the way back down. So my plan is I'm going to go to the end right here. And then from here, because I want to make sure that I get these words in, and I want to do the words the same way I did the top of the words. I'm going to quilt all this area here first. And avoid his actual face. Come over here. Finish the area out over here. And then let's pull Now you may notice I'm getting a problem with some of the bulk over here. It's gonna get a lot worse whenever I get to the meat of this. Oh, hey Amber, how are you? I am starting out by quilting the Final Fantasy quilt. So I'll switch to the main camera angle whenever I finish the actual quilting and I take the pins out. And then I'll switch back to this whenever I quilt the Hyrulean Crest one. Okay, again, I want to avoid his actual face. Alright, got my words. Okay, it's starting to bunch here, so I need to make sure that's nice and flat before I continue on. And the frame saved. Okay, so I'm just making sure that I'm good with my bulk before I continue on. You always want to make sure that you have a flat surface to quilt on, because if it gets bunched up at all, you may have issues with the fabric itself bunching, or with the back bunching. And again, I'm going to avoid his face. Well, the black face, mostly just the eyes. Because I don't want it to seem like he's got a mustache or anything on his face. Go down there a little bit. Oh, the stew was fantastic. Thank you. And thank you for the host. It was funny because my husband's like, oh, well, you didn't make it. You just put it in the crock pot. I'm like, do you understand all of the spices and the broth, the bouillon and the broth and everything I got to put in there? He goes, no. But it tastes different than when you did it before. Yeah. So, no, it was actually really good. And then he actually left some for leftovers. So that was good. I didn't ask, how was your salad that you made? Getting some bunching here, so I have to stop, flatten it out. Yes, I know I quilted a little bit over his face, but I'm framing the words, so that's the only time I'm going to break my rule of no quilting over the face. There we go. Oh, just okay? Aw. Hopefully the next one you have is better. Alright, so I'm going to switch this. Now, the nice thing about having a huge table, and you'll see it more whenever I switch the camera angle back again, is that you do not want any of the quilt to fall off the table. If it has any pressure on this side or on this side, it's going to affect the stitch, and it's going to affect the quilt. And you do not want that. Okay, so you saw how much was bunching up here just from the return trip whenever I was doing that. So what I normally do, and if you watch the quilting one before that I did, you'll notice it's the same exact thing I did before, is I do the top, and then I actually split the quilt into two sections. So I actually will start straight up and down, and I will quilt all the way to about the middle, maybe a little over the middle, and then come back to the middle, and back again. And I do that until I'm all the way at the bottom. Then I'll quilt the entire bottom, and then I'll flip it around, and I'll go the opposite, and I'll go the other side. What that does is it allows me to reach parts of the quilt without having way too much here. Even though this is a pretty big neck area, it's not ideal. It's not the perfect amount for a quilt this size. So I'm gonna come down and then over and then back again. So let me check it up. Bob and thread is good. Now for this first pass here, I don't know about all the way back, but this first pass here, there's not going to be any words. I do not have to worry about framing any phrases or words at all. I can just do a regular meander with the same speed and tension as before. Oh, you know what I just realized I forgot to do? Is put up my little saying that says, "Today is quilting day. I may or may not see your comments in chat, and I apologize ahead of time." I had that up the last time I had a quilting day, and I just remembered it. Oh no, what did I do? No, nothing. Yeah, nothing's broken. Alright. Still good. No clue why it beeped at me. Maybe it thought something was broken? So, how I can tell the middle of the quilt. Right here is the center panel of the second row. So, right here is the middle of the quilt. So, right where this is. I actually lined it up so this is all center. So, I'm probably going to try to go a little bit farther than that and then come down. Yeah, I'm going to stop just before this wording. So, I'll probably bubble out these words and then come down. Oh, nope, because I've got words. Alright, I'll go to the words. So that means I'm going to go all the way over here so that I can frame these words. And then there. Yeah, I know. It's a woohoo moment. I'm very happy when nothing breaks. It's just weird that it beeped at me. No clue why. Alright, now you see I have a bit of bunching of that fabric on the right hand side. The number one problem when that happens is having an that's why I hit the button there. Okay, so I'm going to lock this in. So because there's so much here, I may hit this again. So I locked it in. So yeah, as I was saying, it's bunching up here, and I may hit something I don't want to, and it has to be flat. So the biggest problem is all of this bunching here. So I just have to make sure I keep pushing it over so that I have a flat surface. Okay, I stopped because I could feel the bunching right here. So, pushing and moving and making sure it's a nice flat surface. And there we go. Alright. It's going to get easier and easier, obviously, now the farther I move to the right, and the closer I get to the edge. That set of words is actually the hardest part of the entire thing. Ah, I ran out of thread. Gosh, I hate that. Oh well. Second time it's happened. It's okay. That just means that it wants me to take a break. I was just about to talk about her forehead. So again, this is another spot where I don't like quilting around the face, but here it was a matter of framing this wording, so that is something important. So that's why I quilted over her face there. Okay, first thing, change the bobbin. And then pull it out enough where I can make a knot. One more should be good. I cannot wait to get my nails cut in the morning. These things are annoying me. There we go. And trim. Okay. Now again, it's ended right here. So I'm going to start my quilting up here, and I'm going to quilt like normal, and then whenever I get over here, I'll come up and really kind of secure it in, and anchor it, that's the word I was looking for, and then come up, and then come down, and then finish the quilting. And then once I get to this side over here, I'll start back in and out again. I have at least one more in and out, maybe two. Okay, so again, before I start quilting, I check my petal. Make sure everything is smooth, everything is good. you may have noticed there's a couple of loose threads that I just ran over. I'm not securing it in the quilt. It's perfectly fine to run over those. You just pull them out after. Now I do have a second set of words on the bottom of the panel, so I'm going to make sure I go down far enough that I can frame these words. Oh. Whoops. I almost knocked over my iPad. Steak. What that was, and I could feel it underneath, what this area right here was, it was caught in the plate underneath where my bobbin is, and it was caught in a way that if I would have moved it, it would have broken the bobbin thread. So what I did is I stopped, I pulled it a little bit, uncaught it, and then made sure that I sewed this area a couple of times to really secure it in, just in case it was weak. And it's caught again. I don't know why it's doing that. Oh yeah, I've got an indestructible thing on my iPad, so if I knock it off, if it lands on the floor, it's not an issue. It's just a pain in the butt, because then I gotta actually stop, go get it, put it back again, so I can see the chat. I was not able to meet with my graphic designer today. We never decided on an actual time, and he was available only during the time that I was pinning. So unfortunately, I don't have any news on my new layout or anything like that yet. I'm hoping that we can get together sometime this week before I leave for Chicago. Alright, just making sure there's nothing that's overhanging. Nope, good. Now, I am not going to come down far enough to do that wording. I'm going to stop just before it. And then when I do the bottom, I'll do the wording for this. Oh, if you remember how much my shoulders and my arms and everything ached after the link quilt, yeah, that's what it feels like with these queen size quilts. It's like I'm fighting it. The nice thing about the Hyrulean Shield quilt is there's no faces, there's no wording, there's no special things that I have to be very careful of. I can just do a regular meander. Oops, it's caught again. Alright, let me check the bobbin. Nope, bobbin is still good. And I'm going to switch. And I'm now going to start working on the bottom of the quilts. There we go. And notice how I'm staying away from those words because I'm not ready to go around them yet. I don't want to cut myself off for whenever I do go around. Okay, while I'm at the corner here, I'm going to check my bobbin. I'm good, but I'm running low. Oops. Oh, it's starting to fall off, and I don't want that. Don't fall off, quilt. Stay up. There we go. Alright, I'm going to stop. My bobbin is getting low, and I don't want to take the chance of it running out. Come on. There we go. Oops. Come on, get off of me. There we go. Oh, I caught myself. That's okay. I can sew through it. I don't like to sew through my line, but there's some times where I crap myself and I don't have a choice. Alright, I'm going to take a quick small break because I hear Soleil barking a lot and I think I hear thunder. And she is terrified of storms. So, I'll be right back. I'm just going to make sure she's okay. No. So not even a single raindrop. Apparently, what I thought was thunder was the dogs were playing and racing and wrestling, but Soleil was at the window barking because it's such a nice day at people walking their dogs. Silly dog. Alright, back to Final Fantasy. Almost done. After I do the end, I only have to go up, and he's done. I'm thinking when I do Laura's, because I've got the hearts on the corners, instead of just a regular meander, I may do a curly Q meander with hearts every now and then. I think that would be cute. You know how running water helps some people think? The sound of the sewing machine going actually helps me think, so that's how I can plan things out. I'm also thinking about how at C2E2, I need to have some kind of flyer saying that I stream on Twitch. People want to watch. And I have a YouTube with all of the streams on it. Okay, he's looking down. Okay, making sure I didn't go through his face. I didn't. Okay, and then let me switch it. Now the nice thing about doing this side, our bobbin very quickly. Ooh, I'm running low. It's a good thing I decided to check it. The nice thing about doing this side is because I had to go more than halfway, and I actually had to go 2 panels in, I only have 1 panel on this side. Yeah, see how close that was? That was it. I got lucky on that one. Oh, it's upper thread broke. Damn it. It got caught, and I was trying. Yep. Oh, sewing machine. You were a pain in the keister, but I still love you. I knotted that one up. There we go. Alright. This. See, even when you do everything right with quilting it, you still get thread breaks, catches, issues. I think the only way to avoid a lot of that is through a long arm. And Iron Bandstring has got me convinced I really need to go play with the long arm at Joyce's. That's the sewing shop that's near me. And see if I like it. Now I wouldn't do it for all of my quilts. Just the big ones like this. The ones that are a pain in my keister on my regular machine. Now you notice for this side, I'm doing it a little bit differently. I'm not going in and out. I'm getting all of the far stuff done first, and then I'll work my way in, and then do the edging. That's because this is the hardest part. I'm just going to get it over with. And it's not a huge area, so I don't have to worry about a lot of the bulk or the quilt falling on the ground and pulling on it. Falling off the table, I should say, and pulling on it. Done. Oh, man. Alright, so, done sewing. How's my bobbin thread look? It's okay. Alright, so first let me switch back. Let's deactivate camera 2. And activate camera 1. Fantastic. Oh, let me put this down so I can see. And, oh, hi, Shelly OB followed me. I didn't see that before. Thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate it. Even though I know you're not watching, it's only Amber watching at the moment. But hopefully you see this on YouTube. Thank you very much for the follow. So, maybe I should, do I still have that picture? Saying I'm sorry if I miss things. No, I didn't save it. Convention, nope, okay. It's fine. So, yay! Alright, let me grab the container that has my pins in it. So I can undo my pins and put them in there. So in this is the container that I take with me whenever I do pinning. It is, all the pins are open, so I don't close them. So when I take them off of here, I'll just toss them in there. So it took me an hour and 11 minutes to quilt that quilt. Man, those things take forever. The lap quilts I can do in like 15 minutes. Yeah, they're not that much, but that's okay. This one's a lot more expensive than a lap quilt. And this is a lot of the reason why. It's just all the time that goes into it. This is what I do for my breaks. Because before you have to take breaks from the quilting, you can't solid quilt, or else you may pull something, you may strain yourself, you may do something. So this is how I take my little breaks. So I should, yeah, so I'm probably just going to get through these 2 quilts and that's it. I really want to try to get these bound. I've got a solid schedule tomorrow, but I'll try to do what I can. Because if I can get these both bound, I can take photos Wednesday. Oh, thank you. It's true. When I was in school, we had 9 planets. It was funny whenever Jordan made it when she was in 2nd or 3rd grade. She made a constellation of all the planets, and I told her she had to include Pluto just because I feel that it should be included. And Pluto's not a planet. I know it's not. It used to be a planet. It somehow isn't anymore. I am gonna stand up. Oh, you cut my head off whenever I stand up. I guess I can't stand up. Okay, I'll sit. I was gonna stand while I do this just to stretch my legs, but it's okay. I know, poor Pluto. Pluto misses out. It's funny, every now and then I miss a pin, especially for the bigger quilts. So when I'm doing the binding, I'll find a pin. I'm like, oh, hey, there's a pin. You need to come out. What I'll also do sometimes is trim the edges. Just, in between, if I really, really need a big break. Well, I know I can get the binding made before Wednesday, but I don't know if I can get it on and pinned before Wednesday. Damn it! See? That's what I'm talking about. I don't know how I do that. But because of that, because I did that stitch ahead of time, I saved myself. So all I have to do is trim, make sure I don't cut the thread, but trim the fabric. There we go. See? And it doesn't affect it. If I didn't do that line right there, it would have been bunched up and it may not have been enough room for the actual quilting. Oh, don't fall over. Okay, I just lost one. Oh. My whole body is stiff from pinning today. Alright. Now I've just got to get a little closer so I can pull this fabric out. The trick is to get close enough without cutting that thread. There we go. All gone. Fixed. Stay. Okay. So yeah, so sometimes I'll stand up and cut if I need a break, like a big break. Stay. You know what? I think I'm done. I want to make sure I have enough time to quilt the other one. So, you are going all the way back here, and you're not going to spill my coffee. I will take care of you later. This is the thread that Laura picked. Let me message her and make sure she knows I'm going to get started in a minute. And it is a King Tut. It is a variegated thread. So it is What colors are in here? Blue and purple and yellow and green. So it's all sorts of different colors. That's going to be nice working with that. Okay. Switch it out. Ooh, it's a thicker thread. That's nice. Too bad you can't see this in the camera because I know the camera's not nice enough. So it goes from yellow to green to purple to blue to yellow to green to purple to blue. Over and over. That's a pretty cool thread. Fantastic. Okay. She may or may not pop on. That's okay. So, my Link Hyrulean Shield. Yeah, no, I have not been able to use a variegated thread at all. I am super excited to use this one. Okay. Now this quilt is just a little bit smaller than the other one. Yeah, all those colors are in here too. Well, no pink, but yellow, blue, purple. Yeah, red. Oh yeah. Fantastic. Okay, I'm going to start. I'm actually going to start at the bottom this time. Start right here. Okay, so I've got that. I've got the variegated thread. Oh, why did you not thread for me? Right. I have a very love-hate relationship with my machine. Alright, so let's switch this back over. So if anyone follows or says anything, I may miss it. So let's turn this camera off and move that camera to the forefront and turn that camera on. Fantastic. Oh, the picture that I put up, woohoo, that picture right there. That's a picture from MagFest of Nicole and I. So Nicole's on the left, I'm on the right. That is my monstrosity. So I was actually thinking of you, Amber, when I put that up. That is what our setup normally looks like. So my patterns are on the right-hand side. And then, of course, I've got my quilts and my pillows all over the place. I've got pillowcases, my book on the table, and then Nicole's got all of her crochet and amigurumi dolls and everything else on the table. All right, let's see how this thread looks. It should show up really well on this white. Ooh, pretty. I don't know if you can tell the colors yet. Alright, so the back looks good, the front looks good. Turn that. Oh, can I? Oh, no. Yeah, it's not showing up. That stinks. I was hoping it would show up. Oh well, it's really cool. It's multicolored. I've been wanting to use a multicolored thread, so I was super excited when Laura told me to use one. I'm always afraid of it not showing up and looking good. I sent all 3 people whose quilts that I worked on today, I sent a picture of it whenever it was all laid out, getting ready to be pinned, asking what color thread they wanted for the quilting. So whenever I sent it to Laura, she said that she was getting teary-eyed looking at the quilt. She loves it so much. And that makes me happy. I think this is my new favorite quilt. I really do love this one so much. Oh. Loosen the tension on the bottom. Oh, that's right, I locked it. Just to see if that's the issue why it's getting stuck. Oh, the color. Oh, sorry, this thread is so cool. Alright, I need to. So tomorrow I'm vlogging. No, tomorrow's Tuesday. Oh, tomorrow I'm doing the giveaway. Okay, so I'm going to do the video for the giveaway. And then Wednesday I'm vlogging. Thursday I'm doing the actual giveaway. I need to take a picture of the close-up of this thread. Probably Friday or Saturday. So you can see it. Maybe I'll wait when I put the picture up next week of the full quilt. I'll have 2 pictures. I'll have a picture of the quilt and then a picture of the close-up of the thread for the quilting. Yeah, when I get to the end, I'll clean out underneath and see if that helps. I'll remove the plate and clean the entire underneath before I actually coat this. And see if there's too much lint under there, and that's the reason why it's getting hot. gonna change. Okay, so before I quilt the actual quilt, it is getting stuck somewhere down in here. It's catching, and I don't want that to happen on the quilt. So I'll be right back. I'm gonna be 10 seconds. I'm gonna grab 2 cotton balls, and I'm gonna teach you how to clean your machine. I only grabbed 1 cotton ball. I really should just keep these cotton balls down here. Okay, so here. Oh, so it should be fast. I need my screwdriver. Here we go. So this is a specialty screwdriver that I got just for cleaning the machine. Because these little screws right here are a pain in the butt because they're in an awkward position. So the screwdriver, so you can't get it in there. So it comes with a special little one, but these screwdrivers are so much easier. Now, the manual always tells you to turn your machine off. The problem with that is it turns this light off too, so you can't see anything. Why are you doing this to me? There we go. Come on. Yep, and of course I'm getting errors on the machine saying, turn the power off and replace the needle plate. Oh, yeah, look at that. Can you see that in the camera? Oh, yeah, you can. That's how bad it is. You can see it in the camera. That's so bad. Okay, where did I put my cleaning brush? Oh, don't tell me I put it in the drawer that's in front of the camera. I think I did. Alright, let me go grab my backup. Alright, here's my backup cleaning brush. So, first thing you want to do is get rid of all this gunky, horrible stuff that's mostly sticking out right there. So, oh yeah, there's a hole right there. So I've got that. Oh, I have to move the camera, I think, to get my tweezers. Do I have another pair over here? Nope. Okay, so close your eyes. I'm moving the camera. It may make you dizzy because it's going to go all over. Where are my tweezers? There. And there. Okay. And, oops. Putting the back. And, okay, I'm good. Alright, open your eyes again. Okay. I got 2 sets of tweezers. The long one and then the short one. So I'll probably need them both. So all I'm doing at this point is I'm just getting in here. And I'm just trying to get out as much. Oh, that's gross. All this lint. So this is all the lint from the thread. So it gives off a little bit. Okay, and there's a whole bunch in here in my presser foot. I'm just kind of shoving it in. Okay. Alright, so I've got all the big chunks. So, what's funny is I didn't learn this next part until about 3 months ago. So you take your cotton ball, put it in half. So I would actually stop right there. So, and I would blow in there, which is not a good thing. Take tweezers. And, oops, I'm sorry, I bumped the camera. And get your cotton ball in there and really get it in all of those places. Yeah, look at that. Isn't that gross? Really get it in. And the cotton ball is going to suck up all of that extra. Yeah. Alright. Yeah, look at that. Isn't that gross? Okay, that's the left side. Oh, you know what? I missed a chunk. And you can even use your tweezers to get in there and pull out some of the stuff. Okay, alright, let me grab the other side. Now you got to be careful because there is some wires in here. You don't want to be too rough. Oops. Yes, I know. I'm touching things and moving things and the power's on. So you don't want to knock the wires. You don't want to mess with any of the interior stuff. And I'm going to take this one, just kind of go back over the area I've been. Ooh, yeah, that's gross. That's super gross. Yeah, it's amazing how much crud goes into your machine. Yeah. Look at all that. Isn't that gross? That was all in my machine. Yeah, it's been I think it's been over a month since I've cleaned it. So, yeah, it's a good thing I cleaned it. So this is all getting thrown away. Okay. Alright, let's put the plate back on. Yes, I know, you're mad at me. It's faster if I just tighten it with my finger to start with. Although my nails aren't allowing me to do the initial twist. Come on. There we go. Okay. Now I actually want to take my plate and move it forward a little bit. I don't want to have it flush to the back. I've learned this way is better. There we go. When I do my quilting. If I have it flush to the back, I find I have more issues. Hi, Soleil. It is on. Great. So then I put my bobbin case back in. Put that back on again. And I need new bobbin thread. There we go. Now, just to make sure that I didn't royally screw something up, I'm going to sew a little bit over what I've already sewn. Sometimes I'll have a scrap that I'll take a look at. Yep, nope, that's good. I did not screw anything up. And sometimes I do screw things up whenever I clean it. Okay, so let's get to quilting. So I'm thinking, like I said, I'm thinking about doing some curlicues where I'm just kind of meander and do a curlicue every now and then. And then I'll come and I'll do a heart every now and then. Just because I have these hearts, so I want to put some more hearts into it. And I think the curlicue is going to give it a little bit more of a fun feel than just my regular meandering. Oops, this pin wasn't closed. Let me close this. And can you see the oh, you can see the colors a little bit. Yeah, Not as much as I would like. That's okay. You'll be able to see them in the pictures. Okay. Now the reason why I started at the bottom instead of the top like I normally do is because I wanted to make sure that I knew what I was doing. So I was practicing a couple of different hearts down here, and I didn't want to mess it up at the top because you're not going to notice a lot of things along the bottom of the quilt. So if I want to practice some things, I tend to practice on the bottom. And then by the time I get to the top, I already know what I'm doing. Oh, that heart kind of stuff. That's okay. I'm stuck. No, nope. Cleaning it didn't make a difference. There we go. I still got caught on the plate. It's weird because it wasn't doing that for any of my lap quilts that I quilted a few weeks ago. Oh my gosh, this is really annoying me. Now the thing with the curly cues is they actually take a little longer to do than the regular meandering because I'm stopping and actually doing a small design. Come on. There's another open pin I missed. There we go. Somehow my pedal escaped me. It's all the way down. There we go. And we're stuck again. Over that one. There we go. I'm going to move a little slower and see if that doesn't help with the catching on the bottom. Again, this is the bottom of the quilt, so anything I experiment with won't be seen as much as at the top of the quilt. Every time I stop, it's getting caught on something underneath. Oh my gosh, this is getting frustrating. I have no clue what's causing this. I think, yeah, my bottom tension looks like it's a little loose. Okay. You know what? I've loosened up my upper tension. I'm gonna tighten it up a bit and see if that helps. It only did it. Nope, that didn't help. It only did that a few times with the other quilt. Yeah, that's definitely not it. Alright. And I keep bumping the camera, and I'm sorry. Oh, out of bobbin thread. Dang it, I should have checked it before I started back over. Completely my fault. Because I knew I didn't have a lot in there to begin with. Alright. See, this is when I wish that Iron Band's Gran was watching. See if she knows why I keep sticking on the plate. Okay, why are you... Stop! I can't get the thread off. Oh, that's right. Put it over here. Yeah, see, it's got some weird stuff going on the back with it catching. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and rotate and start on the edge and work my way to the center. And when I get to the point that I ran out of thread over here, that's whenever when I reach the point here, I'll go ahead and I'll anchor it, really do that, and then that's the part where it's a little bit over halfway, so that's where I'll stop and move back over. You know what, I may not even get this quilt done before 9. Come on. I was looking to see if it broke. It didn't. Oops. I may stop earlier today because this quilt is frustrating me for some reason. I'm not sure why it's doing this. I have a brand new needle. It's a quilting needle, so I know that's not it. right here, it's starting to pull because all of this down here is starting to pull and bunch up. There we are. That's better. Okay, so I have reached the point of this quilt that I am getting frustrated. So I need to stop because if I continue to quilt, it won't be my best job. So I'm going to finish out this row. I don't know why this one's fighting me so much. So I'm going to finish the row out, and then I'm going to stop for this, and I'm going to go back to taking the pins out of the Final Fantasy, and I'll take the pins out of this. Oh, come on. The thread itself is gorgeous, though. Alright, so, you notice how I just had to go straight across? I wasn't even done finishing the row. So obviously my husband's home. Okay, so let's switch the camera angle. Fantastic. Yeah, you get some of the behind the scenes stuff with my computer there. Oh, let me minimize that so I can see all the lovely things. Yeah, so I'm frustrated, so I think I'm done. So it's one of those things where if you get frustrated with something, you really have to stop, do something else, come back to it. So I think I'm going to play with some of the settings, play with some of the thread. I may even call the company for the thread and see if there's something that I can do to get this fixed for it sticking, to see if there's any issues. And then Wednesday, Soleil, enough. So Wednesday, what time did I say I was streaming? Why am I not? Show. So I am streaming Wednesday 5:30 to 8:30. Yeah, that's fine. I may finish up that camera.
I know.
Okay, don't block it. I may finish Mike.
Just make sure it's working.
I may finish this up. I may set it aside because I don't think there's any way I'm going to be able to finish quilting and binding both of these quilts before I go to before Family Center closes. So I probably will just do my quilt kit preparation like I initially wanted to. So it'll probably be that. Maybe this. I don't know. But I think I'm done. So I'm frustrated. So thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. I will get this one and the last one up on YouTube. Yeah, Amber's laughing at you. Yes, I'm gonna have a Caesar too, honey. So thanks for joining me. Oh, Amber says hi.
Hi.
Yeah, and now I got a bunch of other viewers coming on because he stuck his head in the thing. So that's it for my. I'm ending a little early, so that's it for my stream tonight. I will finish this quilt, the Hyrulean Crest, up on another night. So I won't work on it unless I'm streaming, I promise. So thanks, guys. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate it.